Okay, we have to talk about pajamas again. We are always talking about pajamas on this channel. I need to go find them. Two pajamas we're reviewing today, Holiday Town and Blissful Bows. Let's go. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zarina, and as you know, on this channel, we are just obsessed with pajamas. So just because we're coming up on the holidays, I wanted to just do another quick review of my Petite Plume Holiday Collection pajamas. I genuinely think this brand is amazing and they have so much to offer. I did cave and order another set of pajamas. I think in my last review, I said that my pajama collection feels pretty complete, and that's true. But I'm a glutton, so I actually need more. And as with all reviews on this channel, I'll be speaking to the durability and how well they wash, how well they wear, both for sleeping and lounging, and I will give you some details on the seams and the quality of. I will also say that I have reviewed the Blissful Bows set before in my little preliminary review for before I speak to the long-term durability of these items in a different video. This review is going to be a little bit different in the sense that I'll be describing a little bit more about the utility of having a shorts set. Blissful Bows, by the way, I don't think you can get it anymore from Petite Plume. They might do a restock later, I'm not sure. But regardless, it's available from other retailers, so if you wanted to get it, it is still out there. I recently saw it on overthemoon.com. I don't really know a lot about that retailer, but I know they carry Petite Plume. Okay, sorry, I just looked and it's actually only available in a size large from both retailers, so... Regardless, I will be speaking to the fabric as well, which is the Pima cotton. So the Pima cotton, they've made a lot of different sets in, so at the very least you can get a bit of an understanding of like how it stacks up compared to the twill. The twill set I'm reviewing today is the Holiday Town print, which I'm so excited about because honestly, it's so freaking cute. Let me throw one of these on. I did pull them out of my dirty laundry basket because I wear them all the freaking time. Don't tell anyone. Okay, here is the Blissful Bows set. Wow, cute! It's so cute. I'm pretty sure I have shown a close-up of this print before, and I'll just insert it here again just because I think it's worth seeing close up. The website pictures don't necessarily illustrate how detailed and just charming this print is. But yeah, it's so cute. I basically always wear it with, oh my god, I'm gonna fall. I always wear it with these long socks. Because it is shorts, and it's like, okay, why do we have a shorts set for the winter? I'm gonna be honest, I'm a convert. I did not think this would work, and I will say that it is exceptionally well insulating. The Pima fabric is like bordering on sweaty. I mean, I feel like in the middle of the night sometimes when I'm wearing these and I'm sleeping, I need to just like adjust my blanket situation. To be fair, I sleep with like, I have a flat sheet, I have a polyfill duvet with a 100% cotton, very thick duvet cover, and then I also sleep under a heated blanket on top of all of that. So please take that into consideration. If you run super hot, the Pima fabric is very insulating, at least to me, and I run super cold. So please bear that in mind, because I think that if I had known how insulating this was, I would not have had even a second thought about ordering a short set. There are still times when I'm like, okay, it's too freaking cold today, I can't wear this, but that's like still pretty rare, and the temperature in Chicago now is like, we are basically down to like the 20s at this point. So it's like heavy snow out there right now. Record breaking, actually. And I'm gonna be honest, the short set has still felt like I need it in my rotation. In terms of lounging, like sometimes I'll pull this out if I have like a friend over at night or we're just like watching a movie. It is awesome for lounging. I live in a house that has radiator heat and I have no control over it, so it can be pretty cold sometimes. There is almost no insulation on my windows. It's extremely temperamental, like if it's gonna be cold or warm during the winter. And I find this set to be super versatile. Like I actually really am on board with having a short set now. And I just thought I wasn't gonna wear this, but I'm actually wearing it more than my Print Fresh long pants short sleeve set, which you can see in the other video. I'll like link it somewhere here. This fabric has proven to be insanely easy to clean, which I'm so grateful for because it is white, and I have been very skeptical of including more and more white in my wardrobe because of this, but I actually really like wearing white. But I will say that washing this with my whites, and same goes for the Holiday Town set, awesome, honestly awesome. They wash so beautifully and they don't bleed at all, like not at all. I've washed them with a color catcher sheet and nothing, even though it's red dye, which is notorious for bleeding. nothing. And I love that. I will say I don't recommend washing whites with colors. Always a hazard. I have ruined multiple items of clothing that way and learned my lesson the hard way. But yeah, these wash exceedingly well. Other things to note as far as the actual like print of this. Let's see. So here's something that I am a little bit confused by. I feel like one of the marks of like really well made printed clothing is that they match up the print. And it's not like totally not, like you can see that it's like they tried, you know, it's not completely off. I imagine they didn't want to waste a shit ton of fabric too, because I know this is like a wasteful way to make clothing. It doesn't conserve fabric, but I do think they could have done a slightly better job like matching up the print, and that's neither here nor there. It's barely noticeable if I'm honest. It's not something that I'm like, oh my god, why didn't they do this? It looks so silly. Not the case. But yeah, it's definitely not like, you know, I wouldn't say that it's perfect. They also don't have the flat seams on the inside. So look at this. The Print Fresh set and the Hannah Anderson set that I reviewed in my last video, they actually do have the little flat seams. But you can see that like they didn't sew down the seam where the fabric is like tied together here. And typically I would expect really high quality clothing to have this seam sort of sealed down. And what that does is that it creates like a very flattering like fall. It just like rests perfectly on your shoulder. I wouldn't say that I'm feeling it in this. Like I'm not like, oh, it's got so much extra fabric inside. But it is something that I'm like, it could elevate the set a little more. I wouldn't say that it's like, oh, not worth what I paid or something because of it. I think that they did a decent enough job of like matching up the print, and that the seam on the inside is very slim. It's not bulky, which is something. And again, I'll show a detailed inside out when I take this off, but it's also got like just a really solid double layer on underneath the buttons, which again helps them sit really flat. It feels like it falls nicely. It means that the center of the garment is like weighted, you know? So it's just like, it's likely to sit flat, which I genuinely think is like so non-negotiable. I think when you buy a lot of button-up pajama sets, this is where you get brands like skimping, you know, the double layer for sure. We don't have that on a lot of things. And it's a double layer on both sides. It's not like one side just with the buttons is double layered. It is meticulously crafted, like don't get me wrong. Now, I received a comment on my last video about sizing, and I want to just be completely transparent about the sizing here. This is a size small, and I am 125 pounds or so, and I think it's important to distinguish that people who are 125 pounds will look different from person to person. So I want to give you an idea generally of what I look for in terms of how my body is shaped and how I prefer to wear clothing. If I'm in like a season where I'm like running a little less lean, I usually have my weight distributed mostly around my midsection. One thing I do also look for is I need big enough armholes because I tend to hold fat around my shoulder girdle, and also I have like a decent amount of muscle in there for a woman, which I am very proud of actually. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really proud of that. But regardless, I think that often I run into this issue where armholes don't necessarily feel right on me. This is perfect. This is perfect. So to give you an idea, this is how much slack there is. I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with, is just like having the armhole and the waist be like the right measurements. As far as the fabric having a little bit of stretch and give, it is much stretchier and much more forgiving than the twill. The twill is not, I mean, look at this. Here's Holiday Town. Nothing. We got nothing. So bear that in mind. Pima is a lot more forgiving. This is extremely soft, it's stretchy. The waistband is comparable, but because the fabric is so soft and stretchy, the elastic part of the waistband, even if it's identical to the twill, feels much different to me. It is extremely forgiving. I really like wearing it even when I'm feeling bloated, like today. It's super comfortable. One other thing, let's talk about this monogram. Honestly, I regret getting this monogram because you can see it if you squint. Like if I like really shove my boob in your face, like yeah, you can see it. You can read that it says Zarina if you squint. But honestly, I regret it because the print just completely obscures the word. There's really no point in having it. And that's why I didn't get the other set monogrammed, when typically my tradition is to get all of my holiday pajamas monogrammed. I think that Petite Plume offers the monogramming on every single set, and for some of the other ones, like maybe if you got a more solid color, it might look right. But yeah, for this and for Holiday Town, I just didn't think it was worth it because they don't include like a non-printed panel behind the monogram. So like, I can't even, like people see it and they're like, what does that say? And I'm like, guess. Okay, so here is our inside out look. This is the front, and you can see like this double panel is like at least a couple inches on both sides. Absolutely love. Here's a close-up of the hem. Pretty decent, like regular. Doesn't look like it is this focusing. There we go. Yeah, it's not like completely, it's not like wonky like when you go to Forever 21. Also interestingly, they didn't have the cleanest finish on the piping here on the inside, but like honestly I bet they're just cranking these out. I don't know where these are manufactured, by the way. I don't know who manufactures them, and I feel like that's information that I think should be transparent but isn't with a lot of companies. So looking forward to maybe the day that companies like Petite Plume are more transparent about it. Here is the sleeve hem. So sleeve hem looks really tight on the outside. I absolutely love. You know, this is really meticulous work. I really appreciate it. It has a good weight to it as well because it is double layered, and again, this really helps with the fall. So imagine if we didn't have this extra bit, the piping would be a little bit difficult to just weigh down the rest of the sleeve, if that makes sense. Because we have this double layered hem, it really pulls it down and it affects the fit quite a bit. So this is something to look for. If you're looking to invest in high quality clothing, it's really good to have it weighed down by something at each hem. And this is true for Petite Plume all the way along the inside of the neck, which again, like consistency, it is so thorough. The inside of the collar is very broad in order to carry the collar. This panel serves as a bit of a counterweight to the collar, I think. So again, I'm not an expert. I don't sew. I don't know anything about fabrics, but I am an avid consumer. So I'm just providing you with my consumer opinion. And then here we go. So take a look at this. It also has along the back, the entire back is also weighted here. So remember how in the front we had all of the buttons and like the double layer of this panel? In order to counterbalance that, they have put enough thought into this to think, okay, how do we counterweight the back of this? It's with this panel. So again, brilliant. It also helps to balance how the collar sits on your body. Absolutely just very, very impressed with the level of detail here. I think it is super, super high quality, and I don't regret a single penny. So I always give prices with shipping, discounts, tax, sales, anything like that. So yeah, I paid about $142 for this. And then let's just take a closer look at the shoulder here. So the shoulder is where I would have liked to see that flat seam. I would have loved to see this just like sealed down, you know, so that when it sits on my shoulder, it's just completely flat. I will say that all of this counterbalance and all of these like different layers on the inside do achieve a very solid fit regardless. Like if you were looking for like a perfect shoulder seam here, I understand. I don't think that it has a huge impact on the way that these sit. Please note also that it's such a tiny little seam. It's not like it's taking up a ton of space and you don't really feel it. But yeah, this is just technically something I would have liked to see. Yeah, huge fan of this top. And now let's examine the shorts. Wow, does this even make sense? Does this look like it makes sense? Okay, so here are the shorts, and you'll notice that they have pockets. Hot take, I don't think that any pajamas need pockets because what am I carrying? My iPhone Pro Max is already giving me arthritis, so I'm not gonna put it in a pocket because then it'll just pull my pants down. It's like extremely well made though. I'm gonna be honest, I've basically never used these pockets and I have no intention to, but it's nice that they are like detached. They're a whole separate part of the garment. They're not like sewn in, they are real. You could use them. And we'll notice that we have the, again, the 2-inch folded over hem, just to weigh down some of the piping and to make sure it sits flat. Again, we have just this very, very narrow seam, which is not sewn down, but is extremely small. And here is the elastic. You can see that I can, with some difficulty, like stretch it with one hand, which is, you know, I think solid. It is a full elastic. Like the elastic is not floating inside here whatsoever. It is sewn in and it is the perfect length. So awesome, you know, 10 out of 10 for the elastic. And it also just like looks right, I feel. I think sometimes we have elastic that is like a little bit like lumpy or like doesn't carry the fabric well because it's not thick enough. It seems like it's both thick enough and just fits absolutely perfectly well. Okay, let's talk about Holiday Town. Holiday Town. Sorry, I don't know. It's such a cute print. I just love this freaking print. Yeah, so let's look at it close up. I'll just get obnoxiously close to you and you can look at it that way. So here is the print. It is so freaking cute. I just think it's adorable. It has like just the cutest little details. Each thing is like so unique and like I just think it's like down to the things like, I don't know, music notes. Like I just think it's so sweet and like just charming. Like look at these little letters. Oh, cute. Yeah, and again, we can see that they put some effort into like not making it so obvious that they were trying to match up the print, but it's not perfect regardless, and that's fine. That's fine, honestly. Again, we'll take a detailed look at the inside out of this garment and I'll show you how fine it is that they didn't do that, because truthfully, this twill fabric is so good. I love this fabric, and if you watched my last video, you have probably seen some of the last days of my Love Line set, which I destroyed in the wash. I washed them with like a random jacket my mom gave me and it bled all over the pants and they're utterly destroyed, but I'm working on rehabbing them. So I will share that video once it's ready and I finish the project because I've been working on it for a while. RIP to Love Lines. This is an awesome replacement. I'm really excited to have another long sleeve twill set, and this set fits me much better because when I bought Love Lines, I was at a slightly larger size. I bought a medium, and I think that this set is generally pretty okay, but I'm not gonna lie, like there are times when I'm wearing it when I'm feeling kind of bloated or like not feeling the best about myself, and it's actually not that comfortable to have the waistline kind of like digging a little. The reason why it does that is because, again, the fabric, like I showed you, is just not very, it's just not stretchy at all. So to give you an idea, like here are the shorts for the Pima set, and if I try to stretch this, like you can see it has some stretch. It's not like, you know, you can see the print moving. It's not gonna be as rigid at all as the twill, which I think is why this is more expensive, frankly. I think this is a feature that makes it way more wearable and way more comfortable, and aside from that, it's also more insulating, I feel. So that is why the twill is, I think, their kind of entry-level fabric. I will also note that the Holiday Town set, it's not in the brushed twill. So I don't have a brushed twill set. I just don't usually like the feel of brushed fabric, so I didn't really feel compelled to try it. But if you guys like really desperately want a review, I'll consider it. But it's like completely zero forgiving, nothing. So make sure that the measurements feel good to you. To give you an idea, I think my waist around the largest part is maybe 34 inches, I think. 35, something like that. I try not to obsess. It's gonna fit, but like there are days when I'm like, I don't know about this. It doesn't feel the same, you know? There are days when if I'm a little more bloated, the pants are sitting a little higher and then they just feel a little more snug throughout. And it's not that they're too small, it's just that there are days I don't wear them. It's like when you have leggings that you're like, they fit, but today I don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? It's rare though. I have been basically living in this set. It is disgusting right now, and it's so good that you can't like sniff it. I need to wash the... And then as far as the use case, let's talk about when and where these are useful. Lounging, absolutely. They are really breathable. They're not insulating like the Pima, not the same level at all to me. So I love wearing them when I'm just like watching a movie with my bestie or like reading, you know, like they're so cozy. I love like putting them on, sitting under my Christmas blanket, putting on a little Christmas ASMR with the Christmas tree, reading a Christmas romance novel. It is like exactly what you're going for. If you want like highly aesthetic Christmas vibes, this is it. I've actually already decided what I'm wearing for Christmas. It's this set on Christmas Eve, it's this set on Christmas, because obviously I absolutely love them. I think that they are so freaking sweet. But let's be honest, let's be real for a second. This is long sleeved, okay? I also have, as you can see, long hair that is getting longer, and it is very difficult for me to wear this without getting kind of sweaty. Even though it is less insulating than the Pima, it's more fabric because it's got long ass sleeves. And as you can see, I'm just way more comfortable rolling these babies up. I am way cozier that way because I need a little something. I need access to my hands and wrists. When I roll them down, You can see that they have the single button enclosure, which I think is good. I kind of like the double button enclosure that some of my like flannels have and stuff, but it's fine. So, okay. So if you can see that it's like a perfect length on me. Okay, it is not too long or too short whatsoever. This is how long sleeves ought to be, but I am already uncomfortable with how much insulating it is doing. So according to my thermostat, it is 71 degrees in this room, 38% humidity. Wow, it is dry as hell. It's hot, it's warm, it's insulating, but it is, I would say, the fabric is more breathable than the Pima. It is, and so it's a balance, right? Because the Pima being more insulating is shorts, which I love. The twill being more breathable is long, which achieves kind of the same thing. So again, the shorts are completely wearable, the twill is completely wearable. It's just that I prefer to have the sleeves rolled up. I hate it when my sleeves get wet, so I keep them rolled up because I'm constantly just like washing the bamboo cutting board every time I use it and stuff. I'm not here to like experience my wet sleeves ever in life. Now, as far as cost, so what I paid in total for this set is a little bit challenging because I also ordered a sleep mask in the same order. So they're priced at $118. I had a $20 discount because I think I had some reward points and I had free shipping. Oh my God, how do I even, very difficult. Let's just subtract the amount that I paid for the sleep mask from the total. So let's say I paid about $117 for this. You can compare that to the Blissful Bows set at $142. It's for sure cheaper, but I think for the extra $30, like I kind of prefer this fabric at this point. $117 for this level of craftsmanship and attention to detail is 100% worth it. Please understand also, I think that sometimes we get a little bit caught up in like the sticker shock of how much these expensive pajamas are. Truth be told, if I were to hire one individual to source this fabric, create the print, create the fabric, then with the print, construct the garment, and then quality assure it, that would be prohibitively expensive. It's a steal. If you know anything about garment creation, my bestie that I live with is like very into making clothing. It is a huge labor. So please understand, I think these are worth it. Yeah, so I also just want to add that generally I do err on the side of buying from brands that are really transparent about their manufacturing processes. And Petite Plume honestly isn't. It's something that I just would really love to see. It's like, I want to see more clarity about where these are being manufactured, how they are being manufactured, what are the ethical standards that the manufacturing plants are held to, because it's such an issue in garments. Like, we just have all of these fast fashion giants exploiting labor all over the world and frankly destroying not only societies, but also the environment. And it's an issue. And I don't think that Petite Plume is as transparent about these things as they could be. I do stand by the pricing just based on the quality of the garment, but that's not the same as saying that I stand by their actual production practices, and I wish that I had more information about it. Now let's talk about sleeping a little bit in these. So, I mean, I mentioned that lounging in them is awesome, but you will not catch me sleeping in this shirt. I have before, like sometimes I'll just like unbutton another button, or, you know, I'll keep the sleeves rolled up, but honestly, most of the time, like I wake up at 2 a.m. and I'm like, I cannot wear this anymore. I think that I'm just somebody who cannot sleep in long sleeves. It's not my fave unless I'm like freezing cold. Often if I'm traveling, I prefer to sleep in long sleeves because the rest of the world is frequently colder than my bedroom, which is in the middle of my apartment and super warm. So there's that. But yeah, again, if it's on average between 69 and 73 degrees in this room, I cannot freaking sleep in this long sleeve top. I will sleep in the pants. So I don't always want to sleep in pants, period. I just don't like to. But if it's cold, I prefer to sleep in the pants. I'll maybe pair the pants with like a tank top or a t-shirt that's a lot lighter weight. But I don't like to sleep in this shirt. It's just like way too heavy and I can't make it work. My favorite use case for these is pretty much just like chilling in my house, and they get a ton of wear. Like a ton of wear. It is like insane how hard it is to motivate myself to wear any of the other pajamas that I have, because I just think these are so cozy. I've basically like been flip-flopping between these two sets for like so far all of December easily. Today is the 7th. When I want to be extra cozy, I get my Turkish cotton waffle knit robe on, which is awesome. It's super comfy cozy. And also I've been thinking about maybe making a video of like how to make like a pajama fit, because I think that we don't really make outfits for ourselves at home and we should. So let me know if that sounds interesting, I guess. Inside out time. So here we have an even broader panel on the inside here. I think that contributes to how insulating this fabric feels, because it's truly double layered in a lot of places, as you'll see. It's not just one layer of twill. And then at the hem, we have this finish, which again, like they didn't really, I feel like the piping could have been a little cleaner, but yeah, again, we're manufacturing here, so I get it. Let's look at some of these inside seams. Again, not flat, but very tiny, teeny tiny, yes. And then we have the collar. So remember how we had all those panels, like that really broad panel on the Pima? I think that was because the Pima is like a softer, gooier material, and this just needs a little bit less structural support because it is a very structurally sound fabric. So it doesn't have like as broad of a panel, even though the collar is shaped pretty similarly on the outside. And then along the shoulder, we have, I'll flip it over so you can see this a little bit better, but it is very heavily weighted on the back. So then let's look at the back here. So this is, I think, why it fits so exceptionally well and also is super freaking warm, because I tend to lose heat from my back. Like I tend to lose heat out of my collar from the top of my back, and they've created this like extra panel here because it just needs the weight. It needs the structure. And you can tell when you wear it. Like if you've ever tried on a crappy button down from Express, you know like what a difference this makes. And especially because it is in the same fabric, they did not cut corners. This is legit. They have like such an excellent double panel here that is just strategically just so. It stops right at the shoulder, perfect. It does not impede the backing or this extra panel that weighs down the collar at all. It is like super, except there's so much cat hair on this, for God's sake. How does the cat hair get on the inside is my question. It's extremely, extremely detailed, thorough work. There's also a really interesting little divot here. I really love the way that this creates a perfect fall with, especially because the hem, if you look at the bottom of it, it's a little curved. And I love this curve. I love that it is so flattering on me. It just like creates a longer line that makes me feel just a little bit more put together. I love that it has like, it's not straight across and it's also not insanely dramatic. We're not hitting like a high-low 2016 moment here at all. I absolutely love that. But yeah, you can see that it creates a little bit of a fold. Like if I pull on it, it creates this like, you know, and I love that. It's just such a lovely little detail that adds a lot. Like, I think this is why I love petite plume so much, because the attention to detail is truly special. And then again, like if we can just take a second to admire the print here, it is, oh, I can't, it's too cute. I especially love the mailbox with the little bow wreath. I especially love all these little buildings. My favorite thing is a teeny tiny building, whether it's a little gingerbread house or a little like post office. Any kind of tiny little building makes me absolutely crazy and foam at the mouth. Also, we have like a little, this guy, aww, Santa, wow. I just think they're so cute. Every single thing, it's like such a joy to look at. I love it so much. But yeah, it's just a really, really cute and cozy set that I think everybody should have. I think everyone should have a long sleeve twill set. If you're thinking about getting a long sleeve twill set for somebody for the holidays, please just do it. Also, look at this. They actually have a little disclaimer here. Fabric is pre-shrunk, but 100% cotton may shrink 4 to 5% after first wash. Yes, I would agree that high heat will cause increased shrinkage and avoid it at all costs. I also wash these with the whites just like the other set, and I also air dry them because I am not gonna deal with this. I will never deal with increased shrinking. My clothes need to fit me, and if that means they have to wait to be dry, I don't care. There you have it. These are my 2 petite plume holiday pajama sets, and I hope that it inspires you to invest in one of these sets yourself, because truly they are worth it. I cannot recommend these enough. And also, thank you to everybody who commented on my last video. I was so excited to hear from people about how much they love these sets too. And as always, if you have any questions at all, just like leave it in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And if you liked this video, please subscribe. I am trying to create like a little community of pajama lovers, and some plans for the future here are some DIYs in terms of repairing and cleaning pajamas, expanding into talking about my vintage silk pajama collection, which I'm really excited about, and also just talking about like other things about my loungewear collection and my wardrobe that I'm just really proud of. I've spent so long curating my wardrobe, and I spend a lot of time taking care of it and maintaining it, and I would just want to share that with you guys. It's something I am so freaking passionate about. I love clothing, and especially vintage clothing, so you'll be hearing more about that from me. I also wanted to talk about like my bag collection, my accessories, my fragrances. I mean, there's a lot to cover. So please subscribe if this stuff interests you, and I hope we can create a little community of like really bougie lounge bitches. Okay, see you later, love you.